हेलो फ्रेंड्स, केजी क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ सेल्फ रिलायंस बाय R.W. इमर्सन के बारे में बताएंगे। फर्स्ट है आई रीड द अदर से लेकर के दैट इज जीनियस। देयर आर द ओपनिंग्स लाइन्स ऑफ R.W. इमर्सन्स फेमस ऐसे सेल्फ रिलायंस। Emerson tells that he had read some lines of the famous painter, probably Washington Allston 1779 to 1843. These lines were full of original and not conventional ideas. Emerson also quotes some lines from the epilogue to Beaumont and Fletcher honest man's fortune. The lines state that man is his own star. The soul can render an honest and a perfect man with light, influence, and fate. In these lines, Emerson says that the soul always faces rebuke in such lines. Whatever be the subject of the lines, the soul always receives counsel from them. The emotion and sentiment evoked by such lines is more valuable than the thought. When a man starts believing his own thought, or when his intellect is perfect, he begins to believe that what is true or for him in his own heart is also true for the whole mankind. Such thinking makes a man genius. Emerson means to say that the intellect thinks like this in universal terms. नेक्स्ट है देयर इज ए टाइम से लेकर के हैज ट्राइड। दीज लाइन्स हैव बीन टेकन फ्रॉम एमर्सन्स फेमस ऐसे सेल्फ रिलायंस। एमर्सन स्पीक्स ऑफ द डिवाइन इम्पल्सेस विच आर द फर्स्ट थॉट्स ए मैन शुड लर्न टू फील एंड वॉच द थ्रिलिंग लाइट ऑफ द divine impulse which flashes across the mind from within. Man should adhere to his natural impulses gradually and firmly. In these lines, Emerson tells that in every man's life there is a time of maturity. It is the time when one receives a sort of education. At this time, he realizes so many things. For example, he arrives at the convictions that envy grows out of ignorance. He also realizes that imitation of others is as good as committing suicide. He must work assiduously to make his life better, or worse, as allotted in his fate. This universe is full of good things, but he cannot avail of them until he cultivates the field of his own life. He also feels that he possesses the necessary power to do things, but he does not know the nature of that power. He cannot know its true nature until he tries himself. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा है ट्रस्ट दाई सेल्फ से लेकर के एंड द डार्क। These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson tells that envy results from ignorance and imitation is suicidal. Man must take himself for better, for worse, as his portion. This wide universe is full of blessings. Only man has to work in his field to explore these blessings. A person should put himself wholeheartedly in his work. Only then he will be cheerful and gay. Doing a work half-heartedly is an act of freedom that does not free us from the burden of duty. In these lines, Emerson asks man to trust himself. A person should rely on his own self. This self is in fact the message of the divine impulse that man receives in his heart. The heart of every person vibrates with the music of this impulse from the oversoul. Man should accept the place allotted to him by the divine providence and the society of his contemporaries and the connection of events. Great men have always done so. Like a child, they always entrusted themselves to the genius of their age. Their action betrayed their perception that the absolutely reliable soul was there in their heart, operating through their hands, rather dominating their whole beings. Men are now grown up. They must accept their transcendent destiny. They are not minors or crippled beings placed in a protected corners. They are also not cowards flying in the face of a revolution. On the contrary, they are guides, saviors, and benefactors obeying the divine impulse from the Almighty and proceeding ahead in the disorder and darkness of the future. Immersion means to say that self-reliance places man in good stead. Man must accept the dictates of the divine impulse in all conditions of life. नेक्स्ट है सोसाइटी एवरीवेयर से लेकर के एंड कस्टम्स. These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson suggests man to rely on his own self. Man does not possess an uncertain mind which rages against the divine impulse. Such a mind is preceded by worldly-minded people. A young boy is free from responsibilities and carelessly looks out from his side on the pupil and the facts around him. What a grown-up man is cast by his conscience in the prison of his interest. He is a committed man and is watched by a large number of people around him. He hears noise in the crowd, but there are voices of the soul that a man hears in the lonely regions of his heart. In these lines, Emerson says that society everywhere stands against the freedom of speech and action of the individuals. It hinders free expression of its member. In a way, society is a joint stock company. It exists on a kind of commercial basis. In other words, Emerson means to say that the members of society, as the members of company, agree for the sake of their material interest to give up their liberty and culture. The members agree to conform to the rules of the company, so their individual independence is gone. Good membership requires an unquestioned compliance to its rules. It is against self-reliance. There is no place for such a reliance in society. It loves names of social men and manners, but it is against creators and realities of the soul. Hence, Emerson considers society a constraint on the individual freedom and culture. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा है नो ला कैन बी से लेकर इन ऑल ऑलवेज. These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson is of the opinion that a man of free thought and opinion must be a non-conformist, one who wishes to be rewarded with divine impulses must not be tempted to be considered a good social man. Rather, he should see whether it is good to suppress his divine impulse for this purpose. So a man must free himself from the sin of suppressing his divine impulses. In these lines, Emerson says that the law of his own nature or the law of divine impulses is the only sacred law for him. The epithets good or bad are only applicable to these things or that. The only right action is that which is done according to the directions of the soul. That which is done against it is wrong action. Emerson further tells that a man must act according to the dictates of the soul in the face of all opposition. Every other consideration is unreal and temporal. Only he is real. It is simple that people surrender their individuality to earn badge and name of get a place in large societies and dead institutions. Every decent and well-spoken person affects greatness. He shows himself what he is actually not. The author feels that he ought to be straight and honest. He should speak only truth, even though in doing so he may appear to be rude. A man cannot pass for what he is not, therefore he should be his real self. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा है वर्च्यू आर इनसेलेकर एंड अनस्टडी. These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson tells that every person has to be a man of original approach and thinking. No one should surrender his individuality for the sake of awards and badges. There are people for the sake of whom the author would sell himself. For their spiritual upliftment he would suffer any hardships. For them he would go even to prison. Emerson is also not in favor of alms to the beggars, for most of them are drunkards and do not deserve charity. Emerson says that virtue are exception rather than rule. In other words, virtues are rare and not a common thing. Man and his virtues are two different things. Men perform what is called a good action as if it were a work of courage and charity. They do it as they pay a fine for not attending the parade. Most of the people do good works as an apology or price for their coming into this world, for taking birth as a man, just as the invalid or an insane person pays a high board. In this sense, virtues can be called penances. The author does not want to live as a sinner, but he wants to live in real sense. His life is to be lived for its own sake and not for the sake of spectacles or so. He would like to live his life on a lower strand, but in a genuine and with a right of equality. He would not like to live his life in a glittering and unsteady manner. Emerson means to say that he would like to live his life as a real human being. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा है फुलिश से लेकर मिसअंडरस्टूड. एक्सप्लेनेशन विद रेफरेंस एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट. दीज लाइन्स हैव बीन extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson says that a self-reliant person should not be a conformist. He is free to contradict himself. He has every right to examine his own theories in future and revise his views. He can leave his theory as Joseph left his coat in the hands of a harlot and ran away. Emerson considers consistency a symbol of weakness in conscious man. It is a thing of big intellects like little statesmen, philosophers and theologians. A great soul has nothing to do with consistency. It is like the shadow on the wall with no reality behind it. Always a person should speak in the present in hard words. Tomorrow he should speak what he thinks on that he, irrespective of what he had said yesterday. In contradicting like this, he may be criticized and misunderstood, but it is not so bad in being misunderstood. So great and original thinkers and personalities were all misunderstood. For example, Socrates, Jesus Christ, Luther, Copernicus, Galileo and Newton were all misunderstood at one stage or the other in their life. Finally, Emerson said that to be great is to be misunderstood. Hence, a person aspiring to a high station should not be afraid of contradicting himself if such a need be. नेक्स्ट है लेट मैन देन से लेकर के ही लुक्स ऑन दीज एक्सप्लेनेशन विद रेफरेंस एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट. These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson considers the word conformity and consistency as ludicrous in the present context. These two words should be dismissed. Man should be simple and unamusing. Emerson also thinks that the whole history of man revolves round a few strong and sincere personalities. For example, Martin Luther, Saint Anthony, George Fox, John Wesley, etc. In these lines, Emerson tells that a man should realize his spiritual worth. He should be conscious of his spiritual power, and then he should keep things under his feet or under his control. Every true man is the controller of the trends in his country, so he should not wander about furtively with pitiable appearances of a charity boy, a bastard or a mean, ignoble fellow. He should realize that the world exists for him. Even an ordinary man is not devoid of such powers. With his powers, other men have erected towers and sculptures of marble, but the ordinary man feels himself to be poor. Emerson suggests that such a situation is a sign of weak assessment of the self by a man. The ordinary man should not feel himself weak and helpless, but realize the latent spiritual powers in him. नेक्स्ट है मैन इज टिमिड से लेकर प्रेजेंट एबव टाइम. These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson is of the view that the relations of the soul to the divine spirit are so pure that it is profane to seek to interpose helps. Man should realize that when God speaks, he communicates with all. Not a few persons. Time and space are but physiological colors seen by the eye, but the soul is light in the present, it is day, in the past it was night. Hence religions of the past should be given up. In matters of religion, man show timidity. He is apologetic and no longer upright. He has no original approach. He cannot say I think or I am. He has nothing definite to say about his opinions. When he has to say something uncommon, he takes the support of some saint or sage to strengthen his view. He is in fact ashamed even in the presence of an object of nature, such as a blade of grass or a rose. These objects live their life after nature. According to the law of God, the roses live their life in the present. They do not think of their past or their future. Each of them is perfect in every moment of their life. Before a bud burst into a flower, its whole life had gone into action. Now it is a full-blown rose, for which activity is no more, but the roots is still active for other birds. But in its present state, its nature is satisfied. But the case with man is different. He does not live in the present. He regretfully remembers the past and restlessly waits for the future. He is not happy in the present. He cannot be happy and strong until he too, like a rose, lives in accordance with his nature in the present. Emerson means to say that man can be happy only when he rises above time. नेक्स्ट स्टेंजा है डिसकंटेंट से लेकर के विद डिजायर. Explanation with reference and context. These lines have been extracted from Emerson's famous essay Self-Reliance. Emerson says that self-reliance works revolution in all fields, be it office, relations of man, religion, education, and so on. In prayers, man considers themselves as weak and helpless, begging God's grace. Man looks at God as someone living separately from him. He imagines that God's blessing will come to him only through God's virtue and not through his own. Prayer as a means to effect a private end is meanness and theft. It supposes dualism and not unity in nature and consciousness. Our lamentations to God are also false prayers. Emerson says that discontentment with fate is a sign of the lack of self-reliance. It also shows weakness of the will. It is advisable to regret calamities if such regret can alleviate the calamities of others or help the sufferer. As soon as a man attends to his work, his pains disappear, the misfortune begins to lose its hold upon him. Sympathy with a sufferer is also a base thing. Generally, we go to those who weep foolishly. We sit with them and be with them as if to give them company. But it would be better if we remind them of the inner powers in them. We should make them aware of the fact that they possess noble souls. Instead of increasing their pain by giving them company, we should give the spiritual health and bring them in communication with the oversoul, which is the source of their own region. The secret of fortune is joy, which is in our hands. God favors the self-helping man. For such a man, all the doors are open. All people greet such men and honor them with a crown of greatness, and all the inquisitive eyes follow them with a keen desire. Thus, according to Emerson, a self-reliant man is appreciated by all, and it is he who gets the highest station in life. नेक्स्ट है insist on yourself से लेकर के exhibited it. Explanation with reference and context. These lines occurs in R.W. Emerson's famous essay entitled Self-Reliance. According to Emerson, the rage of traveling is a kind of madness. The intellect is vagabond, and our system of education generates a kind of restlessness. We are imitators who imitate other countries because of the traveling tendency of the mind. Generally, we felt that great arts grow out of the minds of the great artist of the past. We forget that art flourishes only out of the soul of the artist, irrespective of time. In these lines, Emerson lays emphasis on the importance of the self. He advises us to insist on ourselves in the field of thought and action. We should never imitate. Our thoughts are the creation of our whole life's wisdom and experience. We can present these thoughts to others any moment. But if the talent is borrowed from others, we cannot call it an exclusive possession. Imitation is only half an unfinished possession. We can learn it from that source, not from any earthly teacher. No man can know the nature of things until he has seen it himself. In other words, Emerson means to say that a great man is made by his great soul, not by imitating others. Therefore, he should insist on his self. नेक्स्ट है सोसाइटी नेवर से लेकर के स्ट्रेंथ. एक्सप्लेनेशन विद रेफरेंस एंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट. These lines have been taken from the essay entitled Self-Reliance, written by R.W. Emerson. Emerson asks us not to imitate but to give due importance to the self. We can give our original wisdom to others, but imitated wisdom or experience is only half possessions. All the great men like Shakespeare, Franklin, Bacon or Newton were original genius, and no man could be taught by masters to become great as them. Hence, Emerson tells about the truth behind the progress of society. Society cannot progress both ways. If it progresses in material and worldly field, it moves backward in spiritual field. It can advance in one field at a time. Society is subject to continual change in both the sides. It is civilized and it is uncivilized. It is spiritually Christianized, but at the same time it had advanced scientifically and economically. It is not an indication of the betterment of society. It is a material fact that when the society gains one thing, it loses another. For example, if it acquires new arts, it loses old instincts. This can also be seen in the contrast between the rich, well-clad modern American and the poor naked New Zealander who possesses only a club, a spear, a mat and an unprovided shelter. But when compared, we shall notice that the American has lost his native physical strength in comparison to the New Zealander. Thus, if the American has advanced in one field, he has lost in another. Thanks. Best of luck.